KSI was tricked by PewDiePie using some terrible fan art. Tana Mojo has been dragged for generally acting like there isn't a pandemic. TikTokers have responded to being dragged by Ariana Grande, and of course it's the return of "Here is my cat, look at my cat." All this, plus we can't go on without addressing the biggest news story of the week, if not the year. Baby Shark has become the most watched YouTube video of all time. A huge moment for both babies and sharks everywhere. Hosted by me. Right. Suki, why? Now just going to a different noisy thing. Hosted by me, Benedict Townsend, and brought to you by PopBuzz, the only website that is worth 15 electoral college votes, making it one of the most important swing states. Our first story. Felix Schellberg, aka PewDiePie, has tricked KSI with some god-awful fan art. Yet it all began when Felix made some terrible fan art of KSI in a video, this is what it looks like, and then submitted it to KSI's Reddit, along with a plea to viewers to please upvote it as much as possible. Now soon it became the most upvoted bit of fan art on KSI's Reddit, much to KSI's confusion and chagrin. That's a pretty good word of the day, chagrin. KSI himself posted a video where he was reacting to fan art on his Reddit, and he saw the picture and he was like, "What is this?" Actually, sorry, more specifically he said, "Who the f*** drew this? Find a new hobby, mate, because this ain't it." KSI comments, "How has he managed to make me look like an ugly version of handsome Squidward?" Which is funny because in PewDiePie's video... Okay, I'm gonna have to get rid of this cat. Because in PewDiePie's video, he also comments that the picture looks like handsome Squidward. So both of these wealthy, successful men have the same opinion, and isn't that nice? But once he finds out from a viewer that it was drawn by PewDiePie, his tune changes significantly. He says, "Oh, what a marvelous piece of art. Amazing. One of the best pieces of art I've ever seen. Unbelievable." He breaks down laughing and says, "What a roller coaster. That makes so much sense. Okay, that's why." Because, yeah, you'd be a bit confused if a terrible piece of fan art was suddenly the most upvoted bit of fan art on your Reddit of all time. Makes more sense if it's the world's most famous YouTuber who has created it. And you may say, "Benedict, this doesn't seem like the most important story in the world. This isn't the most consequential thing." And yes, correct, very much correct. But it's a nice break from all the YouTubers being racist, isn't it? It's a nice break from Shane Dawson and Jeffree Star and all those other clowns. We're not the circus this week, folks. This week we're being nice. Until we get to the next stories, in which case, put your red nose back on because we're going back in the 10. Our second story. Tana Mojo has been called out by her viewers for just generally acting like this pandemic isn't happening. Yes, she posted a new video called "Logan Paul Ruined Our Relationships, brackets, Never Have I Ever," which is just a nice standard clickbaity title on what is otherwise just a 5-minute vlog of things she's been up to. And Tana, much like a lot of YouTubers and TikTok stars at the moment, seems to be on a specific mission to socialize with as many people as possible in as many confined spaces as she can find. Like, I don't think YouTubers were this social before the pandemic. Now they've got it in their head, they're like, I just need to be in as many cars and as many house parties as I can muster in one day. And this video is a perfect example. She's just wandering around from one group of people to another. At one point there's a bunch of them standing around and Tana's wearing a mask, good, but none of the rest of them are wearing masks, bad. But then all of them just get in a minivan together with no masks. So it's like, well, Tana, why were you even wearing the mask in the first place? And then they take a road trip to go and see Jake Paul, and then they're just at this massive house party, or they're just in a house filled with people. Either way, not good. And this is all taking place in California, which is one of the worst hit states in terms of the coronavirus. It's just mind-boggling. And here's the thing, these are wealthy, famous people. Maybe they're trying to pull like a Kardashian thing where they can use their wealth and influence to sort of somehow continue having a normal life. Maybe they're having rapid tests every 3 hours to find out if it's safe. Somehow doubt that, personally, but maybe they're doing that. But either way, the thing that's sort of most annoying and the thing that her commenters are calling her out for is the fact that her viewers are having to watch this. You know, her viewers who are stuck inside having to live normal, at the moment quite boring, depressing lives where we're all just sat inside waiting for this to be over, are having to watch Tana and other influencers just kind of flaunting their crazy lives on social media as if nothing's happening. Like, it literally is like these people live in a different world. One commenter wrote, quote, "Tone deaf. There's still a pandemic. I used to be a fan, Tana, but this is just insulting to 99% of your fans whose lives were severely affected by the pandemic. Party, cool. We get that you have the resources to continue like life is normal, but don't rub it in our faces. Make content that we want to see. Make content that is you, not this garbage. I sincerely hope that you and your friends don't get sick and start taking your platform seriously. That's a very well written comment, I will say. The only bit that you could pick apart is when the person says, make content that's you. And I think this content is more her than any content she's ever made in her life. It's just her wandering around, making money on OnlyFans and going to parties and stuff. I think that's like what she's all about. I don't think that's the problem here. But, you know, maybe if they keep up this behavior, they'll get called out by Ariana Grande, like a bunch of TikTokers did in our third story. Ooh, what a good segue into the third story. Because of the vehicle, the SEGWAY, people think the word Segway is spelled like that, but it's actually spelled SEGUE, Segue. So that's a good, if you're at a party and you want no one to speak to you, that's a fun fact to bring up. Yes, Ariana Grande recently laid down some shade. What do you do with shade? Plant some shade? Cast some shade? Oh, sorry, you throw it. You throw shade. Ariana recently threw some shade at some unnamed people that everyone just assumed were, you know, generally TikTokers and YouTubers. She said, quote, "Do we all really need to go to the Saddle Ranch that badly that we couldn't have waited?" Now, Saddle Ranch is apparently this place that online stars tend to hang out in. And this is clearly her being like, guys, why do we need to all be hanging out, having house parties in the pandemic? Can we not wait till it's over? Which, yes, correct, Ariana, and well done to you for being responsible. I'm sure she cares a lot about my opinion of her. And now some famous TikTokers have responded, speaking to Pap Galore, which is one of the far less popular Bond girls, Dixie D'Amelio, Addison Rae, and Bryce. Bryce doesn't actually really say anything. He just kind of stands next to Addison and just kind of looks like a rectangle. They've all offered their opinions on Ariana's scathing remarks, and let's say they didn't hold back. Dixie said she wasn't sure what she wanted to reply, but she said that Ariana was, quote, right, and also a, quote, queen. So, take that, Ari. And as for Addison Rae, she called the criticism, quote, fair, but also noted that she's not been going out very much while she prepares for her upcoming film, a remake of She's All That. So, first of all, nice job plugging her film in the middle of that. But also, it seems, hey, look, these TikTokers, they agree with Ariana. It's ridiculous that people are going out and partying. It doesn't seem to stop them, but they agree. Radio silence from Bryce Hall, though, who this is clearly about. He was busy wearing a tank top and being a strong man. This is Bryce Hall, by the way, who on October 30th tweeted, all these influencers going/throwing parties on Halloween right now while a pandemic is going on. Shake my head, insensitive f***s. This is Bryce Hall, who was criticized by the mayor of his town for the amount of parties he was throwing, and then who, it seems, did go out on Halloween. So, what a guy. Anyway, enough of that. Now it's time for a hugely popular segment where we zero in on something that truly matters in this world, people's cats. It's time for Here is my cat, please look at my cat, or whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. Yes, hello and welcome to the cat segment. People send me in pictures of their cats on Twitter at BenedictTown, and I feature those cats right here. So let's take a look at these cats, shall we? That's a cat. Right, there's a cat. Meow, that's a cat there. Oh, pause for a second, because there's a cat. Nice cat. I really wish I hadn't committed to this bit where I have to comment on every photo. I could have just looked at the cats, but I've made a real rod for my own back. Cat. It's a cat there. Oh, what a lovely cat. I'd pet all of these cats. And as always, we'll finish with a cute little picture of my today very naughty, but usually very cute cat, Suki. There she is. This has been the cat segment. Let us know in the comment section which of those cats you thought was the cutest. And don't be afraid to comment all of them. I'm Benedict Townsend, and this is YouTuber News, which airs every week on the YouTuber News YouTube channel and also on Snapchat Discover. If you haven't already, please subscribe by either swiping up on the last snap of this story or by hitting subscribe on YouTube. There's also brand new episodes of the YouTuber News podcast every Tuesday on your podcast platform of choice, so don't forget to also check out that show there. I'll be back next week with more YouTuber News goodness for you, but until then, I'd like to remind everyone that if you are a racist, xenophobic, incompetent president, America will not stand for that for more than one term. They will say, no, no, We will not accept that beyond 4 years. And we will reject you. We will cast you aside and everything you stand for in a very close election where it seems like at least half of us actually kind of agree with all the horrible stuff you believe in. And that's the American way. They'll say, hey, we want to see if you're going to do all the horrible things you've explicitly said you will do. And then once you do all those things, then we'll say, get out of here, Jack. We didn't see that one coming. God bless democracy, and God bless you all.